Hare Krishna. There is a very common question that why did Krishna allow the war of Kurukshetra to happen? Couldn't he stop the war? Is violence justified? If so many people were killed on the battle of Kurukshetra even in the presence of Krishna, then is he really God? These are some of the questions that come to our mind whenever we hear the word Kurukshetra or even Mahabharata. So today in this video we will embark on a spiritual journey to unravel the secrets of Kurukshetra, Mahabharata through the scriptures, through the very words of Krishna and taking reference from Vedic literatures. Before we even enter into the analysis, it's important to understand exactly how many people were killed in that particular war. In that context, there is a verse in 11th Parva or Shanti Parva of Mahabharata. The verse is Dasha Yutanam Ayutam Sahasrani cha Vinshati Kotyaha Shashtistashat Chaiva Ye Ashtin Raja Mura Hataha. This verse reveals in the battle of Kurukshetra 1,660,020,000 people were killed. Even if we sum the total fatalities in the World War I and World War II, the number will be far less. Even if we consider today's world population, 25% or even more than that will be eliminated if Kurukshetra is to happen today. Now, once we have a very clear understanding about the level of devastation that was infested by the battle of Kurukshetra, let us enter into the understanding of context of the war. Why even Pandavas and Kauravas had to fight this very brutal war, and why could not this war be stopped? Talking about the context, please remember that Pandavas and Kauravas both belong to the Kshatriya dynasty or Kshatriya traditions. So Pandavas, they are the son of King Pandu and King Pandu's wife Kunti. Now, since the birth of Pandavas, they were very famous due to their propensity towards righteousness, valor, adherence to dharmic principles, and naturally they were the worthy contenders of the throne of Hastinapur. But due to the evil ambitions and greed and lust of the Kauravas, through diplomacy and through some evil tactics and cunningness, going even against and far away from dharmic principles, Kauravas outnumbered the Pandavas and forcibly captured the throne. Since the birth of Pandavas, all the 5 brothers and even their mother Kunti were continuously subjected to many tribulations. Let me give you a very clear-cut picture on the level of sufferings, agony, injustice and active discrimination that Pandavas experienced. So, please remember that in Vedic literature there are 6 offenses which are considered to be extremely grave and serious, and anybody who commits any of these 6 offenses, if they commit these offenses, then we are allowed to kill them. That's the punishment for this type of offenses. What are these offenses? So first is poisoning. If someone gives poison to another person, that is the first offense. The second offense is setting the house of another person on fire. That is the second offense. The third offense is to attack a person with a weapon, and in modern times we can call it an attempt to murder. The fourth offense is to plunder another's riches, to plunder someone's property, wealth, land. So this is the next offense, to occupy someone's land illegally. And the next and the last of the 6 grievous offenses is to kidnap or attack another's wife. Interestingly or unfortunately, the Kaurava party, they committed all these 6 offences against the Pandavas. It was Duryodhana who was the leader of the Kaurava team, and he was pioneering all these adharmic and sinful activities, poisoning Bhima, then setting the house on fire where Mother Kunti and all the Pandava brothers were residing. However, every time Kauravas attacked Pandavas, they were saved by the divine intervention of Lord Krishna. Now, going by the traditional definition of morality emerging from the constitution, if we look at this incident, the sequence of events, and we evaluate from our legal understanding, we can very easily attribute certain sections of IPC against the Kauravas based on the kind of atrocities they have performed. Certain sections of IPC like IPC section 307, section 328, section 436 and section 354 and many others. So these are certain sections of modern law, IPC or Indian Penal Code, which can be imposed on Kauravas, and the punishment for the offences that Kauravas have performed are death, and in some cases it is even life imprisonment or death. So that is the modern interpretation of the punishment that one should get for the kind of atrocities that Kauravas did to Pandavas. Now coming to the next aspect, when we question the role of Shri Krishna, why did Krishna not stop the war? Why did he allow the war to happen? What was the role of Krishna? So before we question someone or try to understand about someone, we have to understand his position. Who is Krishna? So from Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 10, Krishna says that he is the Atma, he is the soul. As a Paramatma, he is residing in all the living entities, and he is the beginning, middle and the end of all the living entities. So Krishna says, Aham Atma Gurha Kesha, Aham Adir Hi Devanam Madhyanam Cha Bhutanam Anta Evacha. Even Krishna says that he of the Aditya, he is Vishnu. Adityanam Aham Vishnu. Of the Rudras, he is Lord Shiva. Rudranam Shankara Shashmi. Of all the immovables, he is Himalaya. Savaranam Himalaya. Of all the generals, he is Kartikeya. Shenaninam Aham Skandaha. Even Krishna says that he is death personified. Mrityuhu Sarvaharas Chaham. He says that he is the generating principle of all that is yet to be. He says that Udbhavascha Bhavishyatam. Even Krishna represents the fame, the fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, patience and all these noble qualities. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, Krishna says that Dhriti, Medha, Shriti, Smritir, Medha, Dhriti, Kshama. So all these noble qualities belongs to Krishna. They are emerging from Krishna. So why did I say about so many things about Krishna? The reason is we should understand that this half-baked conception of peace, conscience, victory, morality and even our intelligence, they are all coming from Krishna. So today we are questioning Krishna's morality, but please bear this in mind that our very intelligence, memory are all coming from Krishna. Next, apart from this, we should also understand that from Sanatana Dharma point of view, peace is not a term which can be applied to legitimize tolerance towards injustice. Rather, peace is a tool peace is something of paramount importance and is non-negotiable. But in Sanatana Dharma, protection of Dharma is always the supreme. When we question why did Krishna allow violence to take place, is violence justified? On the other hand, we see that Sanatana Dharma talks about Shanti, Ahimsa, peace. These are the virtues that we upheld. But then why is Krishna promoting violence in Kurukshetra? So, what is our understanding of peace? In Kashmir in 1990, when there was a mass exodus of Hindus, the temples were desecrated, razed, or even downgraded to mosques, while the army was slipping into cantonments and the security forces were mute. Is that your definition of peace? When IC-814, the Air India flight was hijacked, bombed in the mid-air, but not a single arrest conviction was made. No one was held accountable. Is that your definition of peace? If that is the definition of peace, then there is this type of peace is not what Krishna stands for. In Sanatana Dharma, peace is important, but violence is sometimes employed to establish dharmic principles and uphold peace in the society. We should all understand that the very purpose of Krishna's appearance is protection of dharma. As the most popular verse of Bhagavad Gita says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tad atmanam srijami aham. So this last three words are critical for our understanding. Srijami aham. So Krishna says that whenever the very principles of dharma will be threatened, I will personally appear. Aham, Srijami aham. I will personally appear. Krishna makes this promise in Bhagavad Gita, a very resolute promise that whenever dharma is threatened, Krishna will personally appear. He will not send some representative, as some people spread a misconception. But in this verse, Krishna clarifies, Srijami aham. I will personally appear and protect the devotee. The people who are following the footsteps of Krishna are always protected by Lord Himself. It is not that Krishna sent someone, but the devotees are protected by Lord Himself. And that is what we see in the battle of Kurukshetra, that though there are so many fighters on the side of Kauravas, still Pandavas were personally protected, mentored by Lord Himself, leading to their triumph. So, as we enter into the conclusion of this video, let us have a quick recap of what we have just discussed till now. As we have learned that this very battle of Kurukshetra is actually a fight or struggle between the dharmic and the adharmic principles, and here this battle does not symbolize the promotion of violence, rather it just symbolizes the importance of standing up for dharma, fighting for dharma, and doing anything that is needed for the protection of dharma. So I remember one very famous statement of a soldier of Indian Army. He said that for the sake of our country, we are ready to give life and we are ready to take life. So that is the kind of spirit that people who are protecting our country or protecting any country of this present world are possessing. So this understanding of morality or peace is extremely subjective, but when Krishna comes in this context, it is becoming divine, and Krishna does not stand for violence, but he stands for dharma. So with this, we come to the end of this video. Please let us know how did you like the video, how did you like the facts and the verses and all these things we discussed in the video. And do you know what is the exact day when Krishna was born? When did Krishna, what was the exact day, what was the exact month, and what was the exact year when Krishna appeared in this world? If you know, let us know in the comment section, but if you don't know, then we are going to discuss this on our next video. So please stay tuned. Thank you. Hare Krishna.